What's up, guys? Uh, you know, I've had this for quite a while. Not quite a while, but I've had it for a little while. And I figured now is the best time. I'm in Daytona. Well, technically, I'm not in Daytona. I'm near Gainesville. I'm at my mother's house. This is where I come every year for Daytona. Um, and I wanted to go over my Pan America that I've had for a little while now. This is its second time to Daytona. I've never really gone over the bike or anything like that, so I figured now's a better time. Now's as good a time as any. Just make sure my mic stayed plugged in. So I do have the hard bags on the side, obviously. Now I went with the hard bags in silver because, from what I understand, not that I had experience with it, but the black ones get extraordinarily hot. So I didn't want to go with bags that were going to get too hot, because I do obviously use this for other than just going out of Daytona in the winter time. For me, it took me about 14 and a half hours to get down here. I'm leaving tomorrow, which is Saturday morning, or whenever you view this. I might not even upload the video till I get home. Most likely won't upload it till I get home. But I wanted to go over some of the things I have done to it, some of the issues I've had and such. This back tire is at almost 11,000 miles, and as you can see, it's getting close to the wear mark. It's flattened out. A lot of highway miles. I do have bigger chicken strips on this bike. I don't know. I just don't sport it around. If it was one of my old sport bikes back in the day, if I had chicken strips at all, it would have been a shame, and I would have been embarrassed by all my friends and made fun of. I have these hard cases. Now, one thing I didn't like is right from the get-go, this bulges out a little bit, and then it bulges in on this side. This side bulges in, so you can see there's quite a lip over, that bulges in. And then this back section kind of bows in. Now, this has been going on since I installed these, but in fact, I didn't lock this one on. I just drove it over here. I just got done putting these on. I got to lock both these on. I had them off because I was doing chain maintenance, and I took them off because it was easier. I tightened up the chain and lubricated the living daylights out of it for its ride home tomorrow morning. I do have the Corbin seat. This Corbin seat is the low seat just because I'm not tall. I'm 5'8", but I do have shorter legs. So that Corbin seat in the low position works great. The only problem is it smashes your balls. Smashes your balls with that, how that comes up. I have the giant loop. This is the Diablo, I believe it's called, not the Fandango. It's not the larger one. And here I have a bunch of important stuff, this and that. I also like to keep a little map of where I'm going, where I came from. I do have some vinyl sticker I put on here just to protect it. This is my heated gear hookup. I did have an extension where I had this basically run through here and then come through there, whatever, and then it went to the seat. But I don't know if it was factory. It's the extension. It's the coiled power cord for the heated gear that came with the bike, and it's completely broken apart, like it was dry rotted or something like that. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. I have the grip puppies. I believe these are called the grip puppies on these grips. These are fantastic. They do make it more time consuming for it to heat up. It takes a few seconds more because it's got to go through this grip puppy, but these are great. I have these are Amazon special levers. Their tolerances aren't that well done that well, and I had to tighten this up, which it still folds, but it's a little bit tighter than it probably should be. I do have hold on, I can never remember the name, but so I have a sticker over here. The double take mirrors. I have the double take mirrors, which work out excellent. I also have the Black Dog machine foot pegs, which are great. The Corbin seat, like I said, is great. It's got that lower feel. It's more level also, but your balls do get smashed on this. The bark busters I have on here with the Storm, and then the Denali. These are running lights and blinkers. Okay, I have the Denali CAN bus on here, which is great because you can control everything like almost like a factory setup. This is the Madstad windscreen. Now this Madstad windscreen came with the bike. It came with the taller, like 24-inch or 26-inch clear one, which was just really ridiculous. And then I got this tinted one. This is the shortest one. One thing I like about this Madstad is it came with this metal bracketry. I hate the adjustment part of it, but I don't adjust it. With this structure, I was able to add in a USB. It's got 2 USB ports and a USB-C, and then this is your factory USB-C that is also really, it's basically just a port for them to download data, and then they ended up powering it up so that you could charge stuff, because they had no way to charge anything on this bike, which I think was a major oversight on Harley's behalf. Just major oversight. This is the Tortec GPS mount. Now this GPS mount is made for the factory windscreen and the factory housing. This Madstad Engineering, it completely replaces that. So I had to do some engineering myself. I had to drill another hole here, secure it with a spacer and a nut on the back, and then obviously it mounts right in here to this front plastic piece right there, and then that works. And then I also got this GPS mat for my Garmin Zumo, and the GPS itself came with this ram ball mount. So this GPS mount, I had to mill out the inside so I could put nuts and bolts on here and mount that ram ball mount, so then I could mount this this ram attachment. And then I've got the quad lock with the vibration dampener all set up right here, and you can see it works out perfectly because it's like a little power tower. I've got my normal stuff going on down here, the Garmin GPS, which is great, and then I've got my cell phone, which I still use Waze, this and that, because the cell phone gives you, obviously, it's funny, I'm watching the delay in the delay in the delay. The cell phone gives you the Waze that gives you, lets you know where police are, traps. This is the oiler for the chain. Believe it or not, I have it run, but I don't have it hooked up right now, so I don't even bother using it right now. It's just I didn't have enough time. I completely tore the bike down so I could run all the wiring professionally. I have it all in sleeves and it's all protected. I have connections on the other side and this side, so it can all be, they can take it apart just like factory. I've got connections that you can't intermix with each other. It's perfect. I also did the Denali electronics. I did these mounts for the lights. Now, yes, it does look kind of like the lights are blocking the blinkers, but we don't have to worry about that because they kind of are. They kind of are. All right. So as you can see, I have those lights set on 20% right down there. That you've got your normal headlight, then you've got your blinkers, and then you've got these daytime running lights. Well, when you turn on a blinker, there we go, that side goes off, and you've got it on the hand, and I know the camera's gonna flatten it out so they both look the same brightness, but that light is gotta be 4 times brighter than that blinker. If they can't see that blinker, which covers more area to begin with, and that blinker, then they were going to hit me regardless. It's just that simple. So when you turn off the blinker, obviously, it'll all go back to normal. That will go back to a daytime running light, and then these come back on. Now, when I turn on the high beams, I have these high beams set up. Everything kicks on to 100%. You get the Baja Design Squadron Pros 100%. And the S2 Pros 100%. They are extraordinarily bright. And then those, now here's another cool thing too. Well, those lights are so powerful. Let's say I'm dumb enough somehow to leave those on, which is impossible. If I turn on a blinker, the super bright lights shut off and the high beams shut off, this and that, so people could still see my blinker. Now, like I said, these are stupid bright. I cannot explain to you how bright these are. The cameras that people show never, ever do this thing justice. I have seen the eBay versions, and when you do a quick flash, like a high beam 3 times, it goes into strobe. Now, from what I understand, every time you're going to probably see those yellow lights flashing, but that's just because the way the camera is recording them. I understand that it's something to do with the camera speed and the LED frequency, this and that. But if they are flashing on camera, they're not flashing all the time. That's just the way the camera picks it up. Now, It's all controlled through the handles. I could control how bright I want them to be, if I want these to be on during the daytime all the time, everything like that. When I honk the horn, that's another thing I should have done. When I honk the horn, they flash real quick. In this side, I've got my tool bag. I've got the tool bag. That's like basically, that's my giant loop. What do they call that? Possibles pouch? I don't know why, but I hate the name Possibles pouch. I don't know why. I don't understand why, but I just hate that name. Anyway, I've got my tools in there, and obviously on this side, I have first aid stuff. Nothing crazy. I actually, it's actually not as full as it looks. It's got a pouch in there that's got Band-Aids, sutures, and a splint and tourniquet. So basically anything that if I were to go off in the woods somewhere or something like that and I needed to help myself survive, that's that. Obviously you get something like the Garmin Spot or anything like that. Right here I have, this is that Acaro, whatever it's called. It's a cheap GoPro. It was 120 bucks. 110 bucks. 110 bucks. I've got it hooked up. It acts as my driving camera, whatever they call that. I can't remember the damn name of it. But like as soon as I turn the bike on, we'll see. As soon as I turn the bike on, this thing kicks on and it starts recording. And it records in 3-minute intervals and then it loops it. And then I could save whatever I want to save. Now, it is behind the tinted windscreen. Yes, I understand that. It's not going to be the greatest picture, but, we'll see. This is just a quad lock I have down here. I don't even use it. Basically, I think it's what I was using before I got the tank bag, but now I just leave it there because it can't hurt to have it. And I obviously have the remote for that camera right there, which because the power's cut. Oh, you know what? Why we've got the power on? Let's show you what these lights do when you honk the horn. See? That's what they do. Alright, yes, I know, side stand is down. Other than that, I've got this also. This is where I keep my rain gear. My rain gear's in here, and believe it or not, I've got some tools in here because my mom owns this giant property that goes all the way around us, all the way down to there, and then all the way out to the road. And I have to do a lot of maintenance every time I come out here for bike week. It's just what it is. So I brought some tools. I had to fix her porch. We had to do a bunch of stuff. I burned about 300 wheelbarrows worth of sticks, twigs, and leaves in that fire pit over there, but that's another story. Other than that, I'm getting the I want to get the skid plate from Black Dog Machine. But I'm just taking my time on that. Other than that, the bike's been great. The only issues I'm having is the constant error codes. Constant error codes. And while I've been in Florida, it's been exceptionally well behaved. What is happening is when I'm up in the colder temperatures in the Northeast there, this thing does not like to start under 40 degrees. Under 40 degrees, you have to start it 3 times. And then it throws all different types of error codes. So I've got to bring it back for that. This is going to be like the 3rd or 4th time I've had to bring it back for error codes. And it did not, like last year when I went down to Daytona, it went into limp mode twice on my way down. Frickin' limp mode twice. And it completely cut the bike's power. But I'm gonna get a new tire right now. Every freaking dealer, the tires are 45 days out. I'm like, fuck. My whole plan was to come out here and get a new tire when I got out here because I didn't want to replace it too soon. And I was like, when I get out to Daytona, it's gonna be a plethora of stuff going on. I'll just get a new tire then. Well, no, nobody has them. Nobody has them. Nobody, not even the other vendors, JP Cycle, nobody has them. Cycle Gear, nobody has them. They're not on back order, but they're 45 days out. Alright guys, that's about it. I just wanted to go over everything I have, what I have going on. I like it. I do have the rock risers on it. They came with the bike. It's the most comfortable bike as far as Harleys that I own. It's the most comfortable. I like it a lot. And I do have this Tortec. This is the kickstand extender, so you can so you can reach the kickstand better, because when that puppy's up, it's like this little nub that sticks out. Well, with this, you're able to reach it better. You know, that's something that the ability of reaching the kickstand, and the fact that they had no way to charge anything on this bike, I found ridiculous. But other than that, guys, that's my 15 minutes of fame. Like I said, I liked how I ended up doing like the power tower. This mount, because it's got this little ball, it bounces around, but the whole thing kind of bounces around. It's securely mounted. I mean, it ain't going anywhere. I do have to find a way to mount, because there should be a mount hole here mounted to there, but other than that, I mean, this thing is secure as can be. This GPS doesn't move, but the phone on the, because it's got this RAM, the quad lock anti-vibration, it moves, and it causes the RAM mount to move a little bit, but that's no biggie. Other than that, the bike's been great, besides the error codes, and you could clear the error codes and just keep on going. That's what my dealer suggested, but at the same time, one of these days those error codes are going to mean something. And if I'm just clearing them and going, well, that's not good. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.